What is cloud computing? Why should I use it? What are its benefits? Are these some of the questions that haunt you everywhere you go? If yes, then stick around to this video and get answers to all such questions. Hello and welcome back to the Tech Blackboard. Today in this part 6 of Azure Fundamentals, we are going to understand the benefits of using cloud services. But before that, let's look at the agenda for today in a little bit more detail. In today's episode, we are going to describe the benefits of high availability and scalability in cloud. Then we will describe the benefits of reliability and predictability in the cloud. Then we have described the benefits of security and governance in cloud. And lastly, we will describe the benefits of manageability in the cloud. Please note that this is our section 1.2 under the section 1 named as Describe the Cloud Concepts. Also, my friends, let me remind you to download this PDF file in which the entire course syllabus for this video series on Azure Fundamentals is given. This PDF is completely in sync with Microsoft updated syllabus, including the changes done on 5th of May 2022 in the AZ-900 certificate. The link to download this file for free is given in the description box. Before we begin with the benefits of clouds, how about a quick revision on what is cloud? As you can see on the screen, cloud computing is the delivery of different resources and services through the internet. These resources and services include servers, data storage devices, databases, networking, and softwares amongst others. To make it simple for those who are absolute beginners, compare this with your laptop. Your laptop has some computing power, or you can also say CPU. Then we have memory. We also have operating systems, maybe some databases, applications like MS Office, network interface cards, and so on and so forth. Now what happens is that after using a laptop for a couple of years, even the best configured laptops become obsolete. So what's the way out? Well, in most cases, you have to purchase a new laptop. So friends, ask yourself, is there a better solution? Yes, there is. Enter the world of cloud computing. In the case of cloud computing, you don't need to buy expensive hardware or worry about upgrading resources and services. Cloud computing enables you to use resources like servers, databases, networking, and software over the internet. Use these resources the way you want, for the duration you want, and pay for what and how long you use it for. So that was a quick introduction on what is cloud computing. For detailed explanation and understanding, please watch our earlier 5 parts in this series where I explained what is cloud computing, different deployment models like IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. I also explained differences between CAPEX, capital expenditure, and OPEX, which is also known as operating expenditure. Not just that, in last 5 parts, I explained so many cloud terms and cloud concepts with various examples, so missing to watch them would be like missing a big chunk of cloud understanding. Please make sure to watch the earlier 5 parts. Links are available right there in the description box. Hopefully now you have a basic idea of what is cloud computing. So now comes the next step, which is to understand what are the benefits of cloud computing. The first benefit that we are going to learn is high availability, and this is our section 1.2.1. Let's begin with some definitions. Definition 1 says that high availability is the characteristic of a system aiming to ensure an agreed level of operational performance, usually uptime. As the name suggests, high availability surely means that a system or application is up and running for a period higher than the normal period. Coming to the definition 2, it says that high availability is the ability of a system to operate continuously without failing for a designated period of time. High availability works to ensure that a system meets an agreed upon operational performance level. To summarize in simple words, high availability is a concept that tells you the duration for which a system is available and functional. A very natural question comes here, that how to exactly measure high availability. And this is exactly where SLA comes into the picture. SLA means Service Level Agreement, and that is a formal agreement between customers and cloud service providers that guarantees customer an agreed level of service for various cloud components offered by the cloud service provider like Microsoft Azure. And friends, it's important to know that SLA is normally measured in terms of percentage. Here are few examples of SLA. We have 99.9 and then we have 99.95, and finally I have shown 99.999, which is also commonly known as 5.9 availability. You can say that this is a kind of gold standard for uptime SLA. And I hope you have already figured out the higher this percentage is, the higher is the availability. Now you might be thinking that a cloud service provider like Microsoft Azure provides hundreds of services and components. So is the SLA same for all services and components? And the obvious answer to this question is no. SLA differs from service to service. So while designing an end-to-end solution where you would be using many cloud services, you have to calculate a composite SLA for all the services used in that solution. So here is the new term, composite SLA. Do you know how to calculate composite SLA? Well, I will soon make a detailed video on composite SLA and how to calculate it, because this is a great confusion for many cloud learners. Anyways, a very important point to remember is that in case of Microsoft Azure, no SLA is guaranteed for free services like Microsoft Azure Advisor and free tier. And friends, this is a great documentation from Microsoft on SLAs. On this page, you can get details of SLAs for all the Azure services. And if you come to the bottom of this page, then you will find a link which says summary of SLA for all Azure services. Click on this link and you will be taken to a new page that will give you a summary of all the Azure services. And here you can see that we are given with SLA information for API management. Then we have app configuration, app services, app gateway. So basically all the Azure services are listed on this page in alphabet order. So I have given the link for this important documentation in the description box. Now let's understand what is scalability. To start with, let's look at some of the definitions. Definition 1 says that scalability refers to the ability of an organization to perform well under an increased or expanding workload. Then the definition 2 says that scalability is the measure of a system's ability to increase or decrease in performance and cost in response to the changes in application and system processing demands. In summary, if a system or application is able to adjust itself to the increased workload or decreased workloads, then we say that this system is scalable. Friends, please pay attention that scalability includes both upscaling and downscaling. As per Microsoft Azure, if you suddenly experience peak traffic and your systems are overwhelmed, the ability to scale means that you can add more resources to better handle the increased demand. On the other hand, if the demand drops, you can reduce your resources and thereby you can also reduce your cost. Now let's check out what are the different types of scalability. There are two major types. The first one is vertical scaling and the second one is horizontal scaling. Let's understand each one of them. As per Microsoft Azure, with vertical scaling, which is also known as scaling up, if you were developing an app and you needed more processing power, you could vertically scale up to add more CPUs or RAM to the virtual machine. Conversely, if you realize that you had overspecified the needs, you could vertically scale down by lowering the CPU and RAM specification. With horizontal scaling, which is also known as scaling out, if you suddenly experience a steep jump in demand, your deployed resources could be scaled out. For example, you could add additional virtual machines or containers for scaling out. In the same manner, if there was a significant drop in demand, deployed resources could be scaled in either automatically or manually, and that is known as scaling in. In case of vertical scaling, you can increase the power of your current machine. For instance, if your server requires more processing power, vertical scaling would mean upgrading the CPUs. You can also vertically scale the memory, storage, and network speed. The downside with vertical scaling is that there is surely a limit on how much addition of computing power you can do to the current machine. Now let's check out the horizontal scaling. Horizontal scaling refers to adding additional nodes, CPUs or machines to your current infrastructure to cater new demand. However, the downside of horizontal scaling is that this can add more complexity in your operations. Now let's move ahead and move towards the section 1.2.2 and understand what is reliability. So reliability is the ability of a system to recover from failures and continue to function. It's also one of the key pillars of Microsoft Azure well-architected framework. And friends, you have to understand that cloud is decentralized by design, and this naturally supports a reliable and resilient infrastructure. You can design your application to automatically take advantage of this cloud reliability. Now let's understand what is predictability. The word predictability means the state of knowing what something is like and when something will happen, etc. So basically you can predict or tell what will be the outcome of certain situation or certain act. Now let's talk about why predictability is important. So predictability is an important component of cloud solution. Without predictability, you can never be sure how your system will behave in certain situation. So predictability creates a confidence in the application. Without predictability, you can never forecast the performance of any cloud solution or even the cost of the solution. So in simple words, predictability is the behavior of the system that is expected in certain situation or while performing a certain action on the system. As a generic rule, the lower the variances, the more consistent or predictable the outcome of any system. Now let's check out how many types of predictability are there. Basically, there are two types of predictability. The first one is performance predictability and the second one is cost predictability. The performance predictability focuses on predicting the resources needed to deliver a positive experience for your customers. For example, let's say that there is a sudden surge of traffic on your website and it's gaining lots of hits. So because of this sudden surge of traffic, your website needs more resources. We just talked about scaling. In this case, auto scaling can deploy additional resources to meet the demand and then scale back when the demand drops. Besides auto scaling, load balancing and high availability are just some of the cloud concepts that supports performance predictability. Now coming to the cost predictability, which is focused on predicting or forecasting the cost of your cloud spends. And I'm sure that you would all agree that it is so important to be able to predict the future cost of your cloud applications. With the cloud solution, you can track the use of your resources in real time, monitor resources to ensure that you are using them in the most efficient way, and apply the data analytics to find patterns and trends that will help you better plan resource deployments. By operating in cloud and using cloud analytics and information, you can predict the future cost and adjust your resources as needed. You can even use the tools like total cost of ownership, also known as TCO, or pricing calculator to get an estimate of potential cloud spends. And this brings us to the next cloud benefit, security and governance, which is also our section 1.2.3. Security is one aspect that you must keep in mind right from the onset while designing any cloud solution. The good part is that in Microsoft Azure, you can find a cloud solution that matches your security needs. So friends, if you want the maximum control over the security, then infrastructure as a service is the way to go. So basically, infrastructure as a service provides you with the physical layer but lets you manage the operating system and installed software. It also lets you control the patches and maintenance of operating system and the installed softwares. On the other hand, if you want patches and maintenance to be taken automatically care of, then platform as a service or software as a service deployment models may be the best cloud strategies for you. Also remember friends that a very good benefit of using cloud as a solution is prevention against distributed denial of service. So distributed denial of service, also known as DDoS attacks, is one area of concern while designing cloud solution. But as cloud solutions are intended as over the internet delivery of IT resources, most of the cloud providers are typically well suited to handle such attacks. So you don't have to worry about building a mechanism against DDoS attacks. At least the first level of security against DDoS attacks is automatically inbuilt in cloud solutions. With this, I present the next cloud benefit, manageability, which is our section 1.2.4. And friends, before moving ahead, a quick validation. I hope you're keeping a tab on the progress that we are making in this Azure Fundamental course. And to help you keep this progress track, I have built this PDF file. I'm sure that you have downloaded this PDF file. The link to download this PDF file for free is given in the description box. Here, if you will see in this PDF file, you can see that we have already covered described cloud computing concept, and in this section we have covered 1.1.1, 1.1.2 till 1.1.6. And now in this part 6, we have started this section, which is section 1.2. So we are now discovering the benefits of cloud computing. In the previous slides, we have already talked about availability and scalability. Then we understood reliability and predictability, and post that we understood what are the benefits of security and governance in cloud, and now we are talking about manageability. So please download this file and keep a track on your Azure fundamentals. You can also use this PDF file to ask any questions from the entire Azure Fundamental course. What you need to do is, while asking question, is that you have to mention the section. For example, if you have some doubts or questions in reliability or predictability, then please mention in the comment section that I have this doubt from the section 1.2.2. Now let's come back to understand manageability. The first one is management of the cloud, and the second one is management in the cloud. Now at first glance, you might be thinking that they both are looking exactly the same. However, there is a very small difference. Here you can see that it talks about management of the cloud. On the other hand, in the second option, it talks about management in the cloud. So there is certainly a difference. What exactly it is? Let's check it out. Now let's first understand management of the cloud. So management of the cloud speaks to managing your cloud resources. In this cloud, you can automatically scale resource deployment based on the needs, and then you can deploy resources based on the pre-configured template, removing the need of manual configuration. And just so you know, these pre-configured templates are also called ARM templates. These are basically JSON files in which you can list down the entire configuration of some of the component or the entire solution and directly deploy it over the cloud. We will definitely talk about these ARM templates in the coming sessions. The next point it talks about is that monitor the health of resources and automatically replace failing resources. The last thing this section talks about is to receive automatic alerts based on the configured matrix, so you are aware of the performance in real time. Now let's jump to the management in the cloud. So management in the cloud speaks to how you are able to manage your cloud environment and resources. You can manage these through a web portal. You can also manage cloud resources by using command line interface, using APIs, and using PowerShell. I hope this makes it clear what are the differences between management of the cloud and management in the cloud. So as I understand it, management in the cloud tells you how you can perform certain actions. On the other hand, management of the cloud, that tells you what can you perform on the resources and how can you make best out of them. Still any confusion? Let me know in the comment section. So were these the only benefits of cloud computing? Well, of course not. There are many more. Let's check out few of them. So here you can see that I have listed 6 more benefits of cloud computing. At the starting, we have no single point of failure. Then we have cost savings, unlimited storage capacity, accessibility anywhere with any device, backup and restore data, and collaboration. So these are just a few more. The list can be really exhaustive. So I will leave up to you to read more on these benefits along with the others. Nonetheless, if you need any help on any specific cloud benefit, reach me out in the comment section. So let's summarize what we learned today. Today we revised the concept of what is cloud computing, and then we discussed in quite some details about the benefits of cloud computing. Talking about the benefits, we learned about the concepts like high availability, scalability, reliability, predictability, security and governance, and finally manageability in the cloud. All these are some of the key benefits of cloud computing. And friends, if you're liking my efforts and you think that I'm doing a good work in bringing free cloud education, please take a quick moment and hit that like button. So please help us reach more and more people who want to learn Azure Cloud. And besides this series on Azure fundamentals, I'm also bringing videos with case studies on AZ-104 and DP203. I have already published one video on DP203 with the case studies. So please subscribe to the channel without missing to press that bell icon to get timely notifications of our all upcoming videos, and please do share our videos with your nears and dears. You can also connect with us and give us a shout out on other social media platforms. Information for the same is now flashing on your screen, also available in the description box. Thank you so much for your precious time and learning with us. I will see you in the next video. Till then, stay fit, keep learning, and thanks for watching.
If this video has added any value in your learning, a like and subscribe is highly appreciated. Share this video in your family and friends to spread and expand their learning. Your comments and feedback give me a chance to interact with you, and I look forward for them. We will meet again in our next video. Till then, stay fit, keep learning, and thanks for watching.